What is up, all forms of social media? James, Joseph, Edward, Jessberger Jr., but please call me Jimmy for short. Today, we're tuning in for something a little bit different, as I always say, but something nonetheless I am super excited to start the series of is my tattoos. So, for this video, I thought I'd just start off with how I grew up as a kid with my tattoos, what drew me to get tattoos, and why did I get my first tattoo, and what my first tattoo is. Now, if you do not know about me personally, or if you do not know me at all, which most of you don't, I am completely covered in tattoos. Not completely, but I am covered in a lot of tattoos. People like to joke around a lot that I'm covered to the T. I am not. I'm not even halfway done. I don't think about all my tattoos that I've done. My arms are definitely close to being done at this point. I have one on my leg also, which I'll have to pull up later for my other videos. But I also have two tattoos behind my ears, and I also have one on my right pec, and I also have one on my upper back. So for those of you who have one or two tattoos, you would think, or have no tattoos, would think, wow, he has a lot of tattoos. But to me, trust me, it's not that many yet. I guess I'll go back a little bit into my past and how I kind of got into drumming and how I got into tattooing because they kind of are correlating together. You'll see a lot why in a couple of minutes. So, when I was younger, I would say when I was about like 8 years old, I always had a fascination with sleeves, like with full tattoo sleeves. Now, whether that meant like I actually wanted to get tattoos or not because I was a kid, you can't justify a kid getting tattoos at that point because they're not old enough to actually know. I really don't think you should get a tattoo until you're at least like I would say at least 16. I think you're pretty much knowing where you're going with tattoos at least, not genuinely in life because trust me, I'm at the age now where I'm still like I don't even know what I'm doing half the time. But here we are. And I knew since I was 8 years old, one day I was going to get sleeves, like both my arms done. And I guess I just, set out to do that without subconsciously, without thinking about it. Even though I love all my tattoos have purpose, all my tattoos have meaning. Not everybody's tattoos have to have meaning, but I'm just putting that out there that like these aren't just so I could have sleeves. These are a main purpose why I have them. Then around the time I started drumming because my friends needed a band. We were forming a band together as friends. I started taking drum lessons. And one of the first drummers that I fell in love with and one of the first drummers that I saw with a lot of tattoos, as you can probably guess, Andy Hurley. Andy Hurley is the drummer from Fall Out Boy. He is literally covered. I believe he's covered from the neck down. He is literally covered in so many tattoos. I don't know if his full legs are done, but I believe they're done from what I've seen before. I used to watch old drum videos of him performing live and doing drum covers and stuff like that. And he was, I think he's still in his metal bands, like while he was doing Fall Out Boy. So it's super interesting. And I kind of knew from there, like, wow, I actually really like tattoos. I love body art. As I started getting older, I started realizing that tattoos are really just body art. It's not like people think that like you're part of a clan or you're doing it for like coolness. Like it's just something to show off that you like getting tattoos, you like having body art, and you like showing a personal message if that's what you believe tattoos are to yourself. That's what I believe they are to me. Other people just like them because they're cool. Completely fine. Whatever you want to do, completely fine. There was a point around, I would say, grade school that I started liking lions, but like I didn't understand why I started liking them. And then I had a huge revelation around high school that like lions are kind of like the pinnacleness of having pride and having courage and having heart along with it. So ironically, why didn't I think of this tattoo earlier? But I knew I wanted a lion's head on one of my shoulders, which, as you can tell now, I actually got it. I won't go into the full story about that, but you can kind of guess where it's going from there. But my parents were not about tattoos at all. I kept telling my parents, I'm going to get a tattoo. When I was in high school, sophomore year in high school, I told my mom, I was like, I'm getting a tattoo, no matter if you like it or not. I got to college, and I had a ton of friends who told me, like, Jimmy, I don't think you understand. Like, realistic tattoos cost a lot of money. Like, you need to get a really good tattoo artist who genuinely is good at realism art. Like, it's not just a 1-2 go in and get a lion tattoo. If you want a realistic lion done, and which some of that wasn't really true now that I look back on it, but it's kind of funny to look back now. But I was working at Arcadia as a commuter assistant, and we had an event that I made that was called instead of New Year New Me, I made the thing of, and everybody keeps saying it now too, is New Year Better Me. So every year now, instead of saying like, "Oh, I'm gonna make a completely new me," which has kind of happened sometimes, but I genuinely think that you can only take what you've done in the past and be better with everything that you've done before. So it's not New Year New Me, it's New Year Better Me. So that was a whole new resolution. I had people and my other commuter assistants and resident life staff make shapes, and then they would write their New Year's resolutions on the shapes, and they would put them on this poster board. And we had a huge poster boards like for everybody to put up there. And I wanted to gear people to make sure that it was like not trying to make a new, like I didn't want somebody to put like, I'm gonna run seven. If you've never run before, I didn't want somebody to write like, I'm gonna run 7 miles every single day for the next year. You can build up to that. Let's better you before you make a new you kind of thing. New you is like after years of doing it. Better you is in the short amount of times and building great foundations to become who you want to be. I was, putting up my New Year's resolution, which was New Year Better Me. I was like, oh, I don't know. I already knew I wanted to write that, but I was like, I don't know what I want to put for my shape. Somebody jokingly left over a yellow piece, and I was like, well, I love hearts. Hearts are one of my favorite shapes. They've always been that kind of thing to me, and I've had like, connections with them. And I cut out a heart, and then somebody left like it was really interesting actually. Somebody left like a little chunk of like a yellow construction paper left. And I went, wow, that could be like a crown on a heart. So on the front of the thing, I put a heart. I taped the crown on the one side of the top of the heart, and I put a paw in the middle, and I wrote New Year Better Me on the back, and then I put it on top of the wall. At that moment, I was like, I think that's going to be my tattoo. I think that's going to be the tattoo that's going to be on my left arm for, my mentality of lion's pride and lion's heart. To me, this tattoo is everything. It started me as a new confident person. It started me not giving a fuck and not caring what other people think about me. It brought the more lion side of me. Why be a sheep among lamb when you can be a lion among the greats? And I really lived by that quote. And like once I got this tattoo, it like I hate when people say, "Oh, the tattoo's not going to change you." Once you put your mind to something and you say this tattoo means this, it totally changes the way you think. Maybe not 100% the way that you think, but it changes you so much into the person that you want to be. This tattoo to me was not just having the lion's heart that I've always had to accept people, but it was the lion's pride to be myself and not give a fuck, and also have that lion's royalty or the lion's kingliness to know how good I am as a person and to know what my worths are. How did this tattoo design actually come to be? How did the colors go and everything? You probably thought, oh, I got a tattoo artist to pick everything for me. That would technically be correct. At the time, my sister's now ex-boyfriend, but sister's boyfriend at the time, was an artist who wanted to become a tattoo artist, but loved to draw and stuff like that. And I said that I was fine with him drawing a tattoo design for me. And originally, it's actually, I wonder if I would have kept it now if I knew that that design would be on my arm. But originally, it was a red heart, a paw, and a crown. But it also had a tail coming out through the side. And I wonder if that would have changed my thinking of who I was now, if that would have been added. But for some strange reason, I made sure that I was like, you know what? The tail is not the thing that I had during the commuter event. I really want this to be my own kind of thing, and I want it to be exactly how I made it and with your spin on it. So ironically, again, the guy's cousin is actually a tattoo artist in a shop. Went into the shop, got it done. I'll make a video at one point about like, hey, this is how you should go in for tattoos. This is how you should prepare. This is what you should tell your tattoo artist you want, and to move forward from that. I got the tattoo done, and I felt like a completely different person. It felt like myself from the inside was coming out on the outside. And that's what I really say to all people about tattoos. If there's something that you genuinely wanted and it just wasn't coming out and it just didn't feel right, try a tattoo. I know they're permanent and some of them are now these fucking stupid 6-month tattoos, but like, to me, they bring the best out of me and they show who I am as a person. So now whenever somebody says, I don't know if I trust you about this, or like, I don't know how you are as a person. I just show them one of my tattoos now and say, like, hey, this is what this meaning is, and this is why I have this. This is who I am as a person. And whether you want to believe it or not is up to you. This video was about my first tattoo and what it means to me. Basically, this tattoo is bringing out this lion's courage, this lion's pride, this lion's heart, to not only keep my hands open to accept other people, but to keep my fists clenched, to be the person I need to be to make things better and to help people. Lions are a symbol of so many different things, and to me they mean everything, and that's why I grow out my hair and be my most, lion self. At one point I have to be the lion in the Wizard of Oz again for a professional show, but that's really it. All I wanted to say, my arms from the shoulder all the way to about the elbow on the front hand side, we can call it the portrait side, um did not hurt. It was not bad at all. I know people joke around a lot, like, "Oh, I could have slept through it." I could have probably slept through it. It was, and it was really short too. It wasn't a long process for this. And remember, it's only from here to about here, so it took. I think we did it for about 2 hours, maybe less, because he wanted to make it perfect, and because it was my first tattoo, and I let him pick all the colors and all the designs and whatever kind of like style he wanted to do. And on a scale from 1 to 10, I would say it was probably like a 4 or a 5. Maybe not even a 4 or a 5. Like maybe a 3. These sides of the arms don't hurt that much. Like to me at least. And to most people I think too. Yeah, I love that tattoo. It started my journey and it made me who I am today and who I strive to be every day. And it strives for me to get more tattoos and to be my fucking tattoo self. If you have any questions about the tattoos that I have, the tattoo that I just talked about, how to get a tattoo, what you guys want to hear about like tattoo 101 and how to, meet with a tattoo artist and who's the best person for you, let's have a discussion about that. Like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. Let's make this thing happen. So, as always, my name is James Joseph Edward Jesperger Jr., but please call me Jimmy for short, and I'll always see you guys in the next one. Peace.